Leaving it all to God. God does tell us to transfer all our burdens to Him and to stop worrying. 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 6 and 7. Therefore, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt you at the proper time, casting all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you. What do we do after that? Do we carry on as usual, waiting for God to resolve them all, and then get upset with Him when that doesn't happen? That is to misunderstand what God has said. What He was asking us to do in the above passage was that we should stop worrying and trust Him instead. He didn't say that was all that we had to do. Imagine a girl asking God to find a husband for her and then thinking that one day Prince Charming will come riding on a white horse. Doesn't she have to start prayerfully considering different prospective candidates that come to her mind? In certain societies, she may have to appeal to some marriage agencies to help her out. What this means is that we cannot put aside our responsibility to do what we ought to and just put the whole responsibility on God. After having committed our matter before God, we ought to be listening to Him and doing what He tells us to do. Some of our problems may be due to bad things we have done. In such cases, there are things we need to do to set things right, not merely by getting forgiveness from God, but also by apologizing to people and changing our ways for the future. Imagine, instead, praying to God and expecting Him to sort out everything. A couple who has problems in their marriage asks a man of God to pray for them, assuming that their problems are due to witchcraft or black magic someone is doing, without giving a thought to what they have been doing wrong to each other over time. God's Word tells us what to do in different situations. Psalm 119 verse 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. One of the biggest challenges we have is to be willing to face the fact that we have been doing many things wrong. Our tendency is to turn the focus on others or on God. Only humble people can acknowledge that they need to change. 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 6 and 7 tells us to humble ourselves before God, and after having done that, to cast our worries on God. If we humble ourselves, we will admit that we don't know everything, there is much we need to learn, and there are many things we need to change from our side. When God points out such things to us, we will be willing to obey Him and make changes in our thinking, speaking, and behavior. Sadly, many people think that prayer is the only thing they need. Shirking their own responsibilities, they think they are depending on God while neglecting to do what He tells them to do. They continue to be and do what they have been doing in the past and expect different results to come out from God. This is a total misunderstanding of God's and our responsibilities. We have done wrong and we are now suffering the consequences, and now we are expecting God to clean up our mess without taking any responsibility ourselves. Many popular preachers are also giving such messages, giving people a false hope that ultimately fails them. There is a reaping. Galatians chapter 6 verse 7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, this he will also reap. Let's learn to humble ourselves. May the Lord bless you in your life as you have listened to these words. Thank you.